Chapter 79, 5th Year, Jealous Moon. Thursday, December 18th, 1975.
I'd like that essay back in January. Yes, Mr. Pettigrew, that is in addition to the one on the pitfalls of the Gemino curse.
McGonagall gave a thin smile that was anything but sympathetic. Peter looked pretty dreadful, but the whole class felt it. Their workload had grown so enormous in the run-up to Christmas that Sirius had to perform a shrinking charm on his books, notes and papers just to fit them all under his bed. Remus felt that this was only a short-term solution. If Sirius actually took everything out and organised it for once, he'd have no problem fitting it all neatly on his assigned shelves. Remus, who had never really owned enough things to make a mess with them, hated untidiness. Some nights he thought that the state of Sirius's bed was even more distracting than the boy sleeping in it. Marlene was particularly distressed as they left the classroom for potions.
I just can't work out the duplication part. It's so confusing.
There's an easy way to get the pronunciation right,
Remus said, struggling with his heavy bag again. His shoulders were very sore this week in the run-up to the moon.
I can show you before we leave for Christmas if you want.
Oh, yes, please.
Marlene nodded gratefully.
You make everything easy to understand. Tonight?
No, I can't tonight.
He said smoothly.
Friday?
Oh, okay. I'll have to get all my packing done tonight, though. Still got presents to wrap for Mum and Danny.
This year, Remus had neatly wrapped every one of his Christmas gifts the moment he'd bought them, too excited to wait. Now he was looking forward to 2 uninterrupted weeks at the Potters with Peter and James. Sirius had been summoned home in a howler earlier in the term. Remus was conflicted about this. Of course, he was deeply concerned for his friend, who was sure to have a terrible time. But on the other hand, 2 weeks without Sirius taking up all the air in the room would be a welcome relief for Remus, whose willpower was starting to fail. For example, just now, as he stood outside the dungeon entrance chatting to Marlene, it was taking every ounce of his energy not to stare directly over her shoulder to where Mary and Sirius were locked in a very passionate embrace, which was bordering on obscene. They had been like that since Sirius's birthday. Every moment in each other's company seemed to be spent tongue wrestling, much to James's disgust.
Evans, can't you stop them?
He asked, leaning against the wall, put out.
I want my friend back.
There's nothing in the rules about displays of affection, Potter,
Lily said, grimacing.
Don't you think I've checked?
Fortunately, at that moment, Slughorn opened the door to his classroom and Remus hurried inside. He and Lily shared a desk at the front of the room, so at least he didn't have to see Sirius and Mary making eyes at each other all lesson. The only saving grace was that at least Sirius didn't talk about her when she wasn't there, like Peter did with Desdemona or James with Lily. Remus had begun looking forward to late nights in their dorm room when he could pretend nothing at all had changed. Potions was dull, as usual. Remus had plans to drop the subject as soon as he could after owls were finished with. He would pass by the skin of his teeth, if at all, and only thanks to Lily. Slughorn gave them yet another assignment due in January.
At this rate, I'll be writing essays during Christmas dinner.
Lily sighed as they packed away their things.
I can't wait for OWLs to be over, can you?
I suppose we'll just have to start work on NEWTS once these are finished.
Remus replied pessimistically.
And Dirk Cresswell told me we won't get our OWL results until the end of the summer.
What? Oh no, that's going to ruin my holiday. Dad wants to take us all down to Cornwall in the caravan and I was really looking forward to it.
Remus nodded, gravely. Even though it was not yet Christmas, he had been looking forward to the summer holidays too. 2 long, warm, simple months with Grant sounded like utter bliss. He'd written Grant a Christmas card, but hadn't made his mind up whether or not to send it. There was nothing interesting inside, just a standard festive greeting, but he was shy about it. Grant might think it was silly. Remus had been carrying it around in his book bag for a week.
So, what are you up to tonight?
Lily asked, as they left the classroom on their way to lunch.
Nothing.
I heard you tell Marlene you were busy and we're not on the rota for patrol tonight.
Oh, it's something else. Detention.
Remus, you never get detention.
Lily laughed.
Come on, what is it? A prank? A secret affair?
Remus gave a mysterious smile, which he hoped was something like Sirius and James's.
Ask me no questions, and I shall tell you no lies.
Just try not to break any laws.
She grinned back, elbowing him gently. Remus tutted, as if he would never consider such a thing. Really, it was James, Sirius, and Peter who were breaking the law. He was just an innocent werewolf bystander.
Evans, Mooney.
James joined them as they reached the great hall.
May I join you for lunch, as you are the only two people in my life not currently snogging?
Oi, what am I, Scotch Mist?
Marlene nudged him as they sat down.
My apologies, McKinnon.
James bowed graciously.
I thank you for maintaining your decorum, unlike some I could mention.
He balled up serviette and threw it at Sirius's head.
Lovebirds, get a bloody room. We're trying to eat.
It had no effect.
It's pretty brave of her, snogging him all over the castle like that.
Marlene mused.
Or brave of him, I'm not sure. Either way, a pureblood and a muggle-born, flaunting their relationship.
What's that supposed to mean?
Lily said, bristling like an angry cat.
Mary is every bit as good as Sirius Black. Blood status has nothing to do with it.
Well, obviously I know that.
Marlene said defensively.
But, well, see for yourself.
She glanced over at the Slytherin table. A number of Slytherins, Regulus among them, was watching the excessive display of affection taking place on the Gryffindor table. As a Muggle-born, Mary had been a target for most of her school career, but it was clear that the disapproval had amped up since she had started going out with the heir to one of the oldest pureblood families in Britain. It was deeply unnerving, the way they were all staring like that. Narrow eyes and clenched fists. All of them except Snape, who was watching Remus.
Bloody hell,
James muttered.
Bunch of weirdos.
I'm worried about her.
Marlene bit her lip.
If she gets cornered in the halls and Sirius isn't there.
We'll look out for her.
James said gallantly. He looked at Remus and Lily.
Right?
Of course.
Remus nodded at once.
Yeah.
Lily said, more slowly. She had a funny look on her face as James caught her eye, as if she had seen something which surprised her.
Obviously. We all care about Mary. We won't let anything happen.
He's late.
Remus grumbled, wrapping his arms around himself and pacing.
He's off snogging MacDonald. He's not coming.
He'll be here, Mooney. Give him a minute.
I don't have a minute.
Remus snapped. His nerves were raw. He didn't have the patience to be polite.
I need to go and see Madame Pomfrey now.
Okay, well you go. We'll follow.
James said.
If Black doesn't show up, then me and Pete'll come by ourselves. It'll still work. I'm big enough to control you.
Remus didn't like the idea of that, but he was in too bad of a mood. He was just about to storm out of the room when the door swung open, almost hitting him in the face.
Oops, sorry I'm late,
Sirius said. His hair was out of place and his cheeks were pinkish. Remus regarded him with disgust.
I have to go,
he said, through gritted teeth.
Yeah, I know. I'm really sorry, Mooney.
Sirius tried a charming smile.
I was just with Mary and...
I haven't got time for this.
Remus left at once, marching purposefully down the stairs. Any time of the month, any time at all, other than the full moon, and Remus could keep all the plates spinning. His desire for Sirius, his jealousy of Mary, his loneliness for someone to talk to. Just now, it was all a bit too much. He barely spoke to Madame Pomfrey all the way to the shack, and once they were halfway there, he realised he could smell his friends, all three, following them under the invisibility cloak. Trying hard to shake off his temper and appear calm, he refocused his thoughts on Christmas with the Potters, the scent of clove and orange, the thick, juicy currants in Mrs. Potter's fruitcake, velvety white royal icing, the warmth of the fireplace. He felt a lot better by the time Madame Pomfrey was locking him in.
I'm really sorry, Mooney.
A voice said, moments before Sirius, James and Peter appeared as if out of nowhere. Sirius stepped forward guiltily.
I won't do it again.
It's fine.
Remus shrugged, hearing the click in his joints as he did so.
You made it in time. Everything's fine.
Tell you what,
Sirius grinned at them all.
snogging's really Moorish once you get the hang of it.
James and Peter laughed. Remus smiled as politely as he could. He desperately wished he could tell them all the truth, that he wasn't the priggish, inexperienced boy they thought he was, that actually he knew exactly how much fun it was to be kissed for hours, the impossible intimacy of having someone to cling to. More than that, he knew how it felt when it was gone.
Where does she think you are now?
James asked Sirius.
Detention, obviously. Got to maintain my bad boy persona.
Of course you do, Snuffles.
Oh, piss off, buckaroo.
Remus closed his eyes as pain shot through his body. He bit his lip and rolled back on the bed.
Better change.
He said to his friends.
See you in a bit.
Friday, December 19th, 1975.
Bloody hell, Mooney. I'm really not a fan of that bit.
Sirius was saying softly, guiding Remus back into his bed.
Not my favourite part either.
Remus responded, wincing against the morning light.
Sorry, it must be crap to watch.
He'd dislocated a shoulder again. What would happen when he finished school and Madame Pumphrey couldn't fix him anymore? Would he have to go to a hospital? Were there wizard hospitals?
It was good, though.
James was saying, somewhere else in the room.
You're trusting us more and more.
Yeah.
Sirius agreed.
I reckon in the new year we can try leaving this place.
What?
Start exploring. There's acres and acres of forest out there to explore, Mooney. You deserve it.
Remus couldn't think straight. He was too tired, too sore.
See you later,
James whispered, just as Remus fell asleep. When he woke up, he was already in a hospital bed. His arm was mended, and he felt as fit as a fiddle. What was more, it was the very last day of term, and tomorrow he would be boarding the Hogwarts Express back to London, then off to the Potters. He smiled to himself. He could not remember having been so happy in a very long time. When had he ever woken up from a full moon without a new scar? When had he ever had a Christmas to look forward to with a loving family? He might even have a go on James's old broom if someone bribed him with a bit of chocolate.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lupin.
Madame Pumphrey called out. She must have some kind of sixth sense. She always knew when he was awake.
Good afternoon,
he called back with a mild croak. He and Sirius had been howling together, he remembered. It had been a lovely thing, like singing.
Another very good night.
The Mediwitch approached his bed.
I'll fetch you some lunch, but then you're free to go. Merry Christmas, my dear.
Merry Christmas.
He smiled up at her. He would leave her gift behind on the bed. He was too shy to hand it over in person.